Aston Martin DBX review. What is it? The DBX is Aston's first SUV in its 100-plus years of history, an attempt to wedge open the tall car-centric doors of global markets like China, the Middle East and the USA, places deeply attached to the idea of big vehicle status. It's also a stab at making a genuinely usable, practical, everyday Aston unlike the four-door Rapide. It's built at a brand new production facility at St Athan in Wales. And despite only being launched in 2020, already accounts for 50% of Aston's global sales. There's a lot riding on the DBX's success. There's now two engine options for the 5-seat, four-wheel drive DBX, although both are Mercedes-sourced 4.0-litre biturbo V8. In the entry-level car it has 542 brake horsepower and 516 pounds-foot, while the newer DBX 707 uses different turbos with additional cooling to develop a mighty 697 brake horsepower, 707 PS, and 664 pounds-foot. The world's most powerful luxury SUV is the claim. Surely a hybrid is more important? Yes, but also more costly to develop. And there's the question of whether the world's wealthy actually want a hybrid SUV. Or if they prefer to carry on burning hydrocarbons until the exhaust starts gargling in the rising sea levels. Now, Aston has done a 430 brake horsepower mild hybrid V6, but it's for China only. Expect more news on DBX variants in 2024. What else goes on underneath? There's a Merc-made 9-speed auto box, further uprated for the 707, triple-chamber air ride, a suite of electronically controlled differentials, electric ride control, and a host of other up-to-date tech that means this unique-looking Aston can cope with everything life throws at it, be that mud or racetrack curbs. Or possibly a little of both. Laid over the hardware is a striking bit of design work by AM's design overlord Marek Reitman, featuring elements you don't usually see in the toolkit of blocky SUV design tropes, and the DBX the better for it. There's a long bonnet that butts up against a generously raked screen, a low roofline, and a pinched ducktail at the rear that apes the Vantage. There's muscle and tone in the side profile, a long wheelbase and plenty of detail, though it has to be said it looks better in the metal than it does in pictures. The 707 gains a bigger grille at the front, larger diffuser at the rear, and a load of other detail. If that's the one you're most interested in, click on these words for a separate review. Is it a convincing car? I'm assuming you mean is it a safe place for your money, when you could be putting it into a Bentley Bentayga, Lamborghini Urus, or top-end Porsche Cayenne. Aston as a company is not as stable as they are, and the DBX as a product doesn't quite have their depth of engineering and quality. The biggest issue is the lack of a touchscreen dash interface, click wheel operation only, and the final polish that characterizes its rivals, but in terms of driving well and looking good, the DBX is right up there.